Go live.
I'll
wait for that.
Joey's the boss.
Yeah, he is.
I'm nothing.
There we are.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Wait,
Yes, sir, boss.
Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast with your host, Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, Matt with Wacky Works Workshop, Jen with Jen's Turns, Jamie with JP Woodwork, and Jake with Northside Custom Crafts. Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 49. I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, and today we have Christy with Oak Hill Millworks. How you doing?
What is up? You didn't even mess up the name. I'm very impressed.
It's difficult.
I've been kind of rehearsing it.
Yeah,
you know how many times I had to do takes on stories last night because of your name?
All of you guys did stories, and I could see this right before you said Oak Hill Millworks. Oak Hill Millworks. Oh,
I just want to keep saying Mills, Oak Hill Mills. I don't know why. And then I don't know how many I went through, and I was like, gosh dang it. I gotta.
You just should have just put an S after everything.
Oaks, Hills, Mills, Works.
yeah. If I have one regret, it's probably my business name.
Oh.
Dead
I like it. I like it.
Other people to say, and there's a story there. It's because there's this brewery in Harrisburg, PA, and it's called the Millworks, and it's also a studio, and you see artists work, and it's sculptures, it's paintings, it's anything that people made, and so that kind of stuck with me. And Oak Hill is the neighborhood that the company was kind of born in. So Oak Hill Millworks, and everyone's like, you do custom millwork for homes. Yeah.
I thought.
I'm like, I could, but no.
No.
Well, Christy, thank you for hanging out with us today. And we usually just get it going by giving us a little background on how you got started.
How I got started. Well, I mean, the real answer is I was a fourth kid, and so my parents barely knew I existed. So I was raised by the woods. You know?
There you go.
So that's how it really got started. It was like I was a curious kid with parents who were already back to work.
Yeah.
Figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
These things raise themselves.
Really? I mean, that's like how I really started, at least just figuring things out, or being willing to not know, being willing to like dig in the dirt or literally eat food that was roaming around our property because I didn't know if anyone was going to be home to cook me a meal. No one called authorities on my parents. They were very loving parents.
Mother's Day's coming up.
They were great. They were busy. They were hardworking people, and that's kind of where I picked up my willingness to work for something that I wanted. And I went the traditional college route because that's just what you did. At least when I was at that point in my life, that's just what you do. You go to a regular college. I didn't have a lot of opportunities to learn about the trades. Prior to that, I did have a shop class in middle school, and I did really enjoy. That's when I kind of fell in love with bandsaw. Or Jeff cut his thumb off, but I didn't. Shout out to you, Jeff. You're out there anywhere.
Full of nubs.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I enjoyed dabbling in building more things in middle school. It's kind of when I started doing more things. I grew up watching my dad, who was a carpenter. He was an electrician. He was in both unions at different times. And so he was always working on our house. So to me, it was just normal part of life to to figure things out and work on it yourself. And then when I got into high school, I did set design for the musicals, and I loved being on stage crew. I love being backstage and building stuff and painting it. And then, and then I went to college and ended up going and studying biology.
Really?
Well, I didn't expect that.
I was waiting for a little interjection, so I
I'm
didn't.
like,
Oh, really?
That's where that dirt came
Ah.
from.
Yeah, that was one of those like, what will please my parents and make me feel like I'm doing the right thing with my life choices. Yeah, so I was
so you really loved it then.
I loved the idea of it seeming like I was doing something good with my life. So, yeah, I was not. I graduated with biology. I graduated and did went right into healthcare. I was a registered cardiovascular invasive specialist for several years down in Fairfax, Virginia.
Wow.
And so I was doing like pacemaker implants, the plumbing and the electrical of the heart.
Wow.
And
Heat and air.
Oh,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Nothing nerve-wracking.
Yeah. No, I mean, so yeah, that's kind of, it really is a precursor for why I got to where I am now. That part of the story is like, went into healthcare, I'm 21, I'm scrubbed in, I'm helping thread these fine wires into people's coronary arteries. I'm resuscitating people constantly because everybody who comes to the cath lab is trying to die. A very high stress first work environment for a new, college grad. I went on to nursing school, became a registered nurse, and switched to bedside nursing, worked on like a cardiac unit, stroke unit, a lot of stressful healthcare positions in my past. And then when we started having kids, my husband and I felt this pull to be at home with the kids. I wanted to experience that part of life. And then it only took like 2 years for me to be like, whoo, this is a lot of breastfeeding and diaper changing. And that's not great. Like even
More biology.
even motherhood is like kind of glamorized sometimes.
Yeah.
Parenthood is glamorized. And so it didn't take me long to be like, all right, I'm gonna need something for myself. And didn't go back to nursing. I wanted to do something creative that would help pull in some money as well. And so I bought a $20,000 laser.
Oh,
hey,
And there you have it.
Just step off in the deep end and just do
There you
it.
go.
End of the story.
nothing wrong with it.
Well,
Seems to have worked out.
That was the
That was a
gateway
wonderful-
drug to the.
wonderful story.
Yeah, that's it. No, so I kind of had done some reflecting on what are the moments in life that I kind of felt like the noise and the stress of life kind of floated away, and each memory of experiencing that was doing something creative. It was either like, and usually it was slower paced things, which I don't do as often anymore. We'll get into that, I'm sure, but it was like hand painting something, usually something slower and something that took focus. And so I knew I wanted to do something related to using those skills. And so I actually started looking up like the wood burning kits that you can get for like $30.
Mhm.
That's where my search started.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I had a friend who ended up being a little bit of a mentor to me at that time. And she had a plasma CNC and her business was really starting to grow. And she said, why don't you look into lasers? I'm like hearing about lasers. So this is 2018. Before everyone and their mother owned a laser.
Right.
And I did look into lasers. I looked into CNCs a little bit too. And at that time, A lot of them were like, you have to build this. And I hope you're an engineer with a master's degree because it's going to take you a week if you have those prerequisites. And so I quickly was like, all right, CNC is not for me. That's never going to happen. And then started looking into lasers and started at the really, small desktop ones, couple $100. At that time, there was a Dremel desktop laser. Anybody know that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very similar to the Glowforge. It was around that same like 5,000 price point. And I was really kind of looking at that one for a while. And then I learned about Epilogue.
Okay.
And that is a USA made laser company. And they offered to do like in-person demos. They'd come to your nearest big city and you could schedule a demo. And I was like, well, I want to do that. I want to see what the heck a laser is and how it works. And as soon as I saw it, I was hooked, absolutely hooked. And it's funny, I have the first thing I lasered in that hotel conference room with two men that I was meeting. I was like, I'm sure it's going to be fine, honey. I just have to meet these two dudes at a hotel.
That's totally normal.
It's normal.
Just a typical Tuesday,
Yeah.
And I was hooked. And so when they told me their like lowest model price was like, I don't know, 10,000. I was like, okay, these are that escalated quickly. Some type of situation. And then I wanted a slightly bigger model. Nowadays, not even that big. My bed's 24 by 18. And that cost me just under 20. And I just told my husband, I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy that. And I'm going to pay for it. I'm just going to write a check. I'm just going to pay for it. I had savings. Couldn't get a loan anyways. I did try because when you're just starting a company, you have no proof of anything. I forget what it's called, but they want you to have like a record that you've existed.
Yeah. Right.
Portfolio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your track record don't have a track.
No.
I have a track.
You don't have a train.
I didn't even have squishy pants. Okay? I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But I wrote that check for $19,555. It was like disgusting to write that check. And then a couple of days later, my husband lost his full-time job.
Oh.
That's a test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is the part where a little bit. And I was thinking, I just wanted to like do a couple little things on the side, And then I had to jump kind of all in because he couldn't find a full-time job in his fields right away. And that was January of 2019. So I just hit 5 years in business, and it's been a heck of a roller coaster.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Owning your own business is pretty tough.
Oh yeah.
It's but it forced me to get really comfortable with failure. It took me a while. It was not natural. But over time, you ruin so many tumblers, and then you're like, okay, all right, we're getting there. You learn that you gotta spend to earn.
Yes.
And not trying is failing. In my book, if you don't even try, you're already failing. So you might as well try something and learn from it and be one step closer to succeeding.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All good advice.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for being with us today. Appreciate it.
That's a long.
Hey, I've had a rough day. Give me some slack here, man. Had a rough day. Thank you for being here, spending some time with us. We're appreciative of it. And my name is Jake for the people at home from Northside Custom Crafts, and I usually do an icebreaker. My icebreaker for you is you're a big part of the Maker Collab, so why does Nick have to do everything?
So you're the guy who likes to joke around, eh?
We're just going off what we got from Nick.
Yeah. Not surprising.
I just now noticed the name.
Nick's boss. Yeah. I gathered you'd like to do some joking too.
We do. It is not easy going into business with a good friend.
No.
Say something else.
That's it.
That was a
Ooh,
business
that was rough.
approach right there.
I didn't want to talk for another 15 minutes. I didn't know if you were still doing more icebreakers.
No, you're good. You're good.
This is starting off great.
You're welcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jen with Jen's Turn. And Christy, Jake likes to be the jokester and start with the icebreaker. I tend to be a little more serious and go with a real question so Jake can make faces at me. So one of my first questions is, you have made some great partnerships with other businesses like Ahanui.
Artisans, yep.
Artisans. I was gonna say designs. I'm like, that's not correct. Ahanui Artisans and like Carhartt, like you're wearing their hat and everything. How did those come about, and what is your advice to others that are trying to break into that part of business?
Well, those are two very different partnerships. Carhartt, of course, is just that's a Friends of Carhartt arrangement, and it's, you know, they provide the gear and it's all just very organic. There's no expectations. It's just, what do you need? How can we provide it to you? And they assume you'll wear it if you like it. And that's exactly what happens. I love it, so I wear it. Whereas Ahanui Artisans started, I don't know, at least 3 years ago. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember exactly how I began working with them, but they're just the client. So that's somebody that I wholesale logo tags to for branding all of their reusable resin molds. And for me, I guess, yeah, two very different answers. For Ahanui Artisans, it was talking online about what I am capable of doing and showing examples of my work, putting my face out there and showing people what is possible. And I believe at the time, the previous owner, John, reached out to me and was like, I really need to get a unique branding solution for our forms because it's HDPE and you really can't have a sticker or anything on there. And so that relationship formed from being present and being active on social media 100%. The Carhartt thing is the opposite side of the spectrum, where you take time to form relationships through social media. And actually a friend, Joni Sprague, connected me with them. And so in that instance, she just offered to connect me with them. And I was like, yes, please. And so that's great. It's a sign that you can rely on relationships from the community to help you get to the next step.
Awesome. Okay, before Matt goes, I'm going to ask a question from the chat. We have Wim Design says, how do you feel being pushed into business the way you were pushed into it? How do you feel that's helped you?
It's actually a really good question because, like I said, it wasn't my original plan. I was kind of hoping to dabble in it and just help the family out. And all of a sudden it was like, what's that movie? Do it now, do it. Yeah, I had to jump feet first. And honestly, it was probably a really good thing for me because my entire life and especially when you grow up in the public school system, you're just measured all day long. You're ranked and you're graded. And I had parents with expectations. And so I grew up kind of in the way that like things have to be right if you're going to put it out there. And when you're a creative maker, you really didn't even mean to do that.
You did a good job. That was
There
great.
you go.
When you're trying to be more creative and grow as a maker, you really just have to start. And so it actually probably benefited me in the long run to force me to expedite the process a little bit and get myself out there.
I got a little bit of experience in that too, because I did something. The story sounds very, very familiar. You go from a want to a have to. So when you have to go, you're like, I have to eat. This has to work. And it's one of those it changes your mindset on how you're doing stuff. And your ability to figure out things gets a lot faster.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Necessity.
And what did you focus on, just because it happened so quick, like you didn't have time to plan like you wanted to dabble? So did you just, what was your focus on trying to generate funds? Because you had the laser. What were you aiming at trying to get clients? How'd you go about that?
I did a lot of small stuff. I did tumblers were huge in the maker community. At one point, I think I had done like every single person's logo, because that was one thing that I unfortunately don't have time to offer now, are like single tumblers. But back in the day, I was like, heck yeah, bring it on. Takes me 2 hours to do one. That's a profit. There's some profit in there, right?
Yeah.
But, I got a lot of my work out there online, and it forced me to, I basically gave gifts locally just to show people what I could do. Things like keychains or engraved cutting boards were big. Hooked up with a local realtor and did cutting boards with him. That type of stuff.
Nice.
Cool.
So one person that you recently made logos for, he asked me to tell you hello, Josh with the Woodworks.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it in today, so he wanted to say hi.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You got one more question, Jen?
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to go or if you wanted me to do
Go
it.
ahead.
So Jason Sullivan says, what are some of the perks of being a TMC member?
I'm sorry, sir. Shouldn't you be in class right now?
Busted. Truancy.
Well, thank you for asking, Jason. I probably wasn't a planted audience member.
I'm pretty sure that was going to come up eventually somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk about the Maker Collab at some point, and I can answer that in more detail.
Okay.
He'll be here. He'll stay.
So Christy, what are some of the things that you've learned, being that your dad is in the trades and been in 2 different trades?
Mhm.
I noticed that y'all did, I think, a drywall project together, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what things have you learned in that, going through that and his experiences?
My dad was I love you, Daddy. Just gonna start with that. Love you, Daddy.
How's his new knees, by the way?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
got 3.
3.
3
Right?
knees? That's unique.
Yeah.
Wow.
One, he had both knees done, and then one unfortunately had to be redone. So that's he has had 3 knee
If you
replacements.
don't do it right the first time.
Right. Dad, the biggest thing that I've learned from Dad is just a willingness to try. And it's literally just take something apart and figure it out. You don't have to just call someone right away and shell out money for someone else to do it. There's oftentimes a fix that a homeowner can handle on their own. So just that general mindset, because love you, Daddy. He was more of a, go get the pipe stretcher type of dad.
Go get this guy hooked for me.
Yeah. So he wasn't always wanting me to be hands-on when I was real little. But I certainly I've helped him build his shop at his house. And that's probably some of the best memories he and I will ever have. Learned a little bit about digging footers, pouring footers, and tricks he has a ton of tricks for when you have to work alone, which is pretty neat. Checking level with a milk jug, how to hang deck joists or stringers by yourself, just yeah, it's a treat to be able to work with him. So now when he comes here to this house, which needs a ton of work, and I'm in my office that I've been slowly trying to finish since I allowed myself to smash the absolute crap out of it last Mother's Day. That was my gift to myself. I made sure to finish framing this wall right before he had a visit scheduled. I absolutely hate, I can hang drywall all day, whatever, that's easy. But I am not good at mudding. No, mudding, sanding, that's just the worst.
Yeah, that's not
Joe's
fun.
a big fan. Joey's a big fan.
I just I've tried to figure out the easiest way to go about it, and there's not an easy way. I just expanded my office. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And I often was like, do I just make the phone call? But I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get this done. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was a lot. And that's not fun.
If I ever have more than a small amount in the future and he can't do it, that is one thing that I'd probably be happy to hire out, because I have tried. And it doesn't look bad, but I don't want to put the effort into it, and I'm not going to invest in the tools to do it when it's so seldom, So I'd rather just support the trades.
There you go.
Right.
They
Give
make
back
it look
to the
so
community.
easy.
They do. I mean,
I actually love drywaller videos.
Yeah, I mean, just
there you go. There we go.
Put some music on it.
There you go.
Like those ribbon dancers.
It's hilarious.
All right. Welcome, Christy. I am Jamie from JP Woodwork. My question for you is, how does one go from the hospital to a workshop, and are there any similarities between the two?
Ooh, man, did you just come up with that? That's good.
I did about 4 o'clock my time.
Nobody knows what that means.
At all.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the interest was always there. Growing up playing in a tree house and always coming up with things to build and have fun. So that desire was always there to work with my hands. So the transition from hospital to garage workshop wasn't that unusual for me, since I had I had often had some interaction with building throughout growing up. But I would have to say, when you work in a hospital, it's really important to know how to time manage and prioritize. Especially, when you're dealing with patients who are having pain, you have to be able to do a critical assessment and prioritize what needs to be done. Do it. So, Jake, I hope you're okay.
Right when you said time management, my daughter got in the chat and she said, "What time?" Because she's late.
She's all about time management. All about it.
Things again. We needed to get you checked.
You might. Yeah.
But yeah, so time management is huge in the shop. You can't let social media distract you. I use like a whiteboard to prioritize things that are coming up, especially with content. I like to plot it out and stay organized that way, so I know what to expect and when, and helps me just be efficient with my time.
That was going to be one of my questions, was how do you keep track? Because I know you have to do content for your own page, the Maker COLLAB page, all the partnerships that you have. It's got to be time intensive. And so I was going to ask how you keep track of all of that, plus all the other work that you have to do.
Yeah, I have a pretty full calendar. I just use my calendar on my phone, honestly, and I set a lot of reminders. And Siri and Alexa are the two cheapest administrative assistants I have. I do believe in AI slave labor.
It's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good.
But yeah, calendars, I have to write things down. If I don't, I'm dead. I'm dead in the water.
We've just got Jen.
Yeah, we got Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jen,
that sounds right.
Yeah. I get emails during the day. Jen, can you do this? All right.
She
Take
heard-
care of it afterwards.
she
We
heard
still have to do it though.
Yeah. So let's get into the Maker Collab.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What? Yeah. Now, please. So your employee said he's the one that came up with it. Who came up with this? And can you tell us about what are the benefits of doing it?
Yeah, well, Nick is actually being honest. The Maker Collab competition was his idea. That all started back really close to when I started my business, actually. You know how you kind of find like your crew, like who you came up with,
Yeah.
who you were learning how
These
to
yahoos.
right? So Nick was one of my yahoos. And he needed, so I don't know how he phrased it, but he needed my help.
Oh no, that wasn't in there. That wasn't in there.
I like that little throat clear at the end of that.
A lot of those in our meeting. No, we did a collab. It was just for fun. It was for Christmas gifts for his family. He needed some laser work, and like I said, this was at a time where lasers were not that common. Definitely not like they are now. And so he may have just been using me for my laser. But we did like a really corny, we always reference this video. We really need to share it again at some point because it's buried at this point. Well, we had like a 3.5 minute long video before reels were a thing. It was like an IGTV collab and help each other with a project. And out of that, he had the idea, let's create an opportunity for other people to collab on a project. And we had no idea what we were doing. And we did it anyways. We just started. We started talking to companies, getting prize packages together, and forming this. At the time, it was a 3-month-long competition. This was
COVID, right?
20 was our first year. And we encourage people to team up from anywhere in the world. Find a partner. That's the key. Find a partner and make something cool within this theme. So yes, that's Nick's claim to fame that he came up with the Maker Collab original competition.
He did say that
will
you
take it
were
to his
helping
grave.
him with Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I just say, he needed me. He couldn't do it without me. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit of a what's it about, and for the listeners out there, what are the benefits of joining it, and what do you offer?
Well, I want to tell you a little story before I get to that point.
Okay.
Because the Maker Collab was almost at the end of its life. Summer of 22, which was not, so we had only done 3 competitions at that point. Actually, it was 2019 when we did our first one. I think. I don't know. I gotta go check the record.
I want to say it was before COVID. I think it was before COVID.
Because your second one was during COVID.
COVID's so stupid.
It is.
Golly.
we all got our time frames by that though.
Yeah.
I think we had whatever. We had done 3 or 4 years of this competition. It was always just for fun. It was a passion project. It took a lot of our time. And as our businesses started to grow and focus on other things, it was like, I don't know if I can keep giving to this in the way that it needs to be given to be successful. So I had done a lot of thinking. And I called him up summer of 22, and I was just like, hey, listen, this is where I'm at. We either need to give this everything we got or take it out back and shoot it. That's what I said to him. And he was not on the same page as me. He really had no desire to hang it up, but he understood where I was coming from, and we took some time to think about it. And he told me that he'd be ready to go all in. And so I pitched him my idea. This is the side of the business that actually makes money.
Oh,
I don't know for sure. I've been told it makes money. I haven't paid myself yet.
I haven't seen for said money.
Yeah, so I pitched him the idea, like, I think we should make a website, and I think we should have like tie courses into the competition and keep the fun going year round. That was the goal, right? Like, how do we monetize something that's only a couple months out of the year? I mean, unless you're Coachella, you can't really do that. So, or Burning Man or whatever y'all can do. So while Nick's claim to fame is coming up with the idea for the competition, it was my idea to come up with the Maker Collab University, which is the only way we're staying alive. So the Maker Collab University is kind of the progression of the Maker Collab, and it's the online learning platform where we meet weekly on Zoom to do classes that are surrounding making stuff, any part of making stuff, whether it's woodworking or we're getting into metalworking coming up here soon. We've got leatherworking. But then we also teach on the business side of things, because we can all go to YouTube to learn how to do something. There's no denying that, but people come to the Maker Collab University to be part of a community. That's where you go if you want to connect with people. And I don't know about you guys, but as much as I love like the freedom and autonomy of being a business owner, sometimes it's just plain hard working alone all the time. Yeah. So the university is definitely there to serve people and to hope that they feel a little bit less alone, a little bit more capable, and if nothing else, build out their network to get help on stuff. So teaching things on making skills, maker skills, teaching things on business, and trying to get a little bit more going on helping people with content creation as well, marketing themselves.
That's awesome.
Nice. And we put a link to Maker Collab University in the description of this, and SMC 50 checkout is what Nick gave us last week. So go down there if you're interested and do that. And then my question, after Jennifer gets somebody to do the question, and I'll do that after she gets hers in.
I just have a quick correction. Sorry, Jake. You said SMC 50, which is your Saturday morning show, but the coupon.
Don't listen to me.
CMP.
CMP 50.
CMP 50. Yeah. So anybody
50%
listening,
off.
if you want to go register for the Maker Collab University coupon.
I did mess that up pretty good, huh?
It was a good job, though.
I
thought I sounded professional. I wasn't playing around or anything, and I messed up. Dang it!
It was awesome.
So the question is, you've seen a lot of collabs between people. Is there one like that sticks out that's like pulls on the heartstrings, or that sticks out to you from throughout the years?
Oh, I'm sure Nick probably told the same exact stories I would.
We didn't ask him important stuff.
I mean, the very first year, and the team that won overall was Andrew and Ricky. AG Does It and Ricky TV. And they did not know each other well. They actually were kind of like admirers of each other from a distance, admirers of each other's work. Andrew's in California, Ricky's up in New England somewhere, and they serendipitously paired up, took a chance. They took a chance. They put themselves out there. We knew they'd never do it again because they set the bar way too high with their project. But their project was, I don't remember the exact dimensions. I think it was over 2 feet tall, a playable walnut Game Boy.
Wow.
it was insane. They did so much electrical work, so much beautiful woodworking, created a ton of content. Like they were our dream team. They inspired, they educated, they motivated, they took us along for the ride. And so they were our first.
There you go.
That was a good first.
That is special.
Oh gosh.
That AG does it. He does some really great projects. I follow him, and I don't know if I follow the other one. I'll have to check it out.
Launched.
Yeah. Yeah. He does really cool stuff. Is Christy frozen? Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Shoot.
She struck a pose. She struck a pose.
Like
Oh,
a
Oh,
salute.
there you are.
There she
Sure.
is.
You're giving us a salute there. I think.
I'm like looking outside to see if it's storming. I don't know what that was, but he now paused this for a commercial.
Station identification.
Yeah, Ricky TV is he's an artist. He's an artist, and you should definitely follow him.
I will go check him out.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of great projects, one of my favorite projects of yours is sitting right behind you, the Murphy bed. I loved following along with the Murphy bed.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's beautiful and functional, and I would love to have one in my house, but I have not tackled that project yet. But I love all the highlights that you did and the step-by-step.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
thank you. It was a beast. It is a beast. That was.
She just likes it because it's blue.
I mean, that's a plus, but yeah.
I rarely get paint colors right, and as soon as I put the paint on this, I was like, I love it. I love it. Yeah, that was a paid partnership. Thank goodness.
I was gonna say it's expensive, but
What? Murphy is expensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, the hardware for this bed is like, I think $350-ish. And then all the supplies. I don't know. I did a reel about the cost. I forget what it is now, but
You did. I rewatched it before, and it was like $875. So in today dollars, it's probably over 1,000.
Mhm.
And a tank of gas.
this was definitely the pointing on camera is so hard.
Yeah.
This part was definitely new to me. That's that cane fabric. Have you guys ever worked with that?
No. Mm-mm.
Thing or whatever it's called. It's like wicker.
Oh,
It comes, yeah, it's like what is the plant? But it's definitely like plant-based, almost like bamboo, and it comes all rolled up really tightly, and you have to soak it in water. I had to soak it in my bathtub to get it to lay flat enough for me to be able to staple it in there.
Wow.
is that
the
kind of like
laser-
the stuff like jute rope? Like jute rope's made out of that fiber?
It's really firm. I mean, it is really firm, so it's not quite there. But yeah, the laser definitely helped with all those curves. I knew I wanted to do something different. Like most people tend to go pretty modern with it in the two handles, and I was like, I really want to disguise it a little bit more, like a pantry door almost. So
Yeah.
it was a fun one. It's a good learning process. Yeah.
Turned out real nice. Turned out real nice.
Thank you.
So you talked about your bandsaw being one of your favorite tools that you fell in love with. What are some of the other tools inside your shop that you really get along with?
Get
And then
along
you-
with? Okay,
and then any tools that you don't get along with.
I mean, the router table is what makes me clench. The router table is what makes me put my brown pants on.
Uh-huh.
That's so disgusting, but you know.
We all got the reference though. I
Christy
understand.
keeping it real.
Hey, hey, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a reel yesterday about like an intimidating experience at the router table. So that's one that I think is extremely useful, but definitely one to be respected.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love my jointer. I got a really hot deal on a very old but very good condition jointer on Facebook Marketplace a couple years ago. I had asked around and people said, don't even get a 6-inch. As soon as you get a 6-inch, you're going to want an 8-inch.
Yep.
And I got so lucky, found an 8-inch helical 15 minutes from my house.
Wow.
Nice.
And it's called a Lobo. Like, I didn't recognize the brand at all. And I was a little skeptical at first. But when I got to this guy's shop, I instantly knew I could trust him because his shop was immaculate. It was full of grizzly tools. And he was upgrading to like a 15-inch or something insanely big jointer because he's a guitar maker. Or whatever the fancy word is for that. What is it?
Guitar maker.
Luthier.
Yeah, that.
Go, Jamie.
There you go.
What, Jamie? You knew that?
Oh, he knows words and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I was just speaking British.
Okay.
He meant to say licorice.
So yeah, anyways, he had some super curly maple in the shop and he's like, I'll run it through it so you can see there's no tear out. And I was like, and it was perfect. And he gave me a big 220 extension cord as well. And it was on a mobile base. It was just one of those rare finds and I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. There is a question in the chat from Mark L. He says, do your kids show an interest in making things?
A little bit. My son more so. They're both really into art in general. They both really like to draw and color. And my son is a little bit more into wanting to come into the shop and more just observe and see what does what and how things work. They definitely help me with the laser. I have paid them to do large tumbler orders because that's so plug and chug that my 11-year-old can load the laser and my little 7-year-old will be there wiping everything down.
You got AI and child labor.
Hey, I'm telling you. You want to eat, don't you?
I don't want to discriminate.
I didn't say I don't do it.
No, we're a big Lego household. My son loves Lego, and so we're often building with his bricks. But yeah,
Nice.
Lego's always
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. So we all have a good dust collector, mainly because they get to play with some anemometers. And you have the Harvey G700. What are your thoughts on it?
Right around
Condom
the-
Yeah.
I saw it.
That was awesome.
the G700. You got to ride it to know if it works well. You got to saddle up. I really like it. Its main purpose for me is with the CNC. I also use it. I also have a big hose that goes to the table saw and router table, which does make a big difference when I forget to turn it on and realize, oh, wow, yeah, that does do a lot. That does help a lot.
Oh, that does suck up all that dust.
Dust. Who knew?
It's amazing.
Well, let's I'll have to comment on the new commenter in the chat because he doesn't have anything going on with his life that he has to come here.
Yeah.
He misses his counterpart.
Nice.
He tried to tell us, he was like, nah, she's busy that night. She can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to be so hands-on with my career, maybe help out with the Maker Club University every once in a while.
Shots fired.
You need a cold compress.
Yeah.
Check it on the line.
So, yeah, Harvey did hook me up with that dust collector. It is very nice. I know for other people that are running like production, it does seem to fill up quick, but that's just not the case for my shop. It's not the type of work I'm doing. So it's great with the CNC.
Cool.
Awesome.
So over the years, you and your employee have come up with some pretty awesome skits for, the Maker Collab Challenge. How exhilarating was it to hit him with the frying pan?
Looks good. Look good.
Yeah, it did.
honestly, I don't even know if like my children's weddings will top that.
No pressure, kids.
So yeah, I was just coming off kind of a little bit of a sadness, and he wanted to record some reels for the Maker Collab, and Landon, a helper that we have behind the scenes, found that skit, and I was like, Landon, I love you. I love you so much for doing this for me. And thankfully he had a helmet. We would have done it even if he hadn't had a helmet.
I'm willing to risk it for you.
Good rhythm, by the way.
Yeah.
I chose the heaviest weight skillet I could find, and he doesn't remember all of his letters, but I think it was worth it.
You don't have to hit me that hard. I about fell out of my chair when I seen that.
Yeah.
That was great. Y'all come up with some real good ones. That was awesome.
We have one more that'll be coming up for tax season.
Oh my!
Ooh.
You know, of course, the bus is the main topic in that one.
All right, this might be the last round here. Once again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Can you just describe to everybody how different that is from doing Instagram and how hard it is to keep up with it?
Thank you so much, Jake, for asking that question about how hard YouTube is, considering my last video was like 6 months ago. Thank you so much.
Once again, you're welcome.
Yeah, YouTube is another beast, and I haven't. That was supposed to be my 2023 focus, and I was assuming I was going to be taking the Maker Collab out back and shooting it, but when my dear partner didn't let me, I instead worked for free, and I became the slave labor for 2023.
Again, not discriminating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have not been able to give as much to YouTube as I would like, but it's definitely still on my mind. It's more of a slow growth thing, from what I've learned. I know that I pushed really hard for that first year to get that 1,000 subs and I don't even remember what it is anymore, 4,000 watch hours.
Yeah.
Yes.
I worked my tail off, and Onefinity, shout out to them because they were a huge factor in making that happen for me. They partnered with me, gave me a CNC, and I just was like, well, I got to learn this machine, so I might as well help others learn this machine, especially from a beginner's mindset, because sometimes you get those expert videos out there that are just harder to follow. And so I was like, well, I might look stupid, but I might also help people, so I'm willing to take a risk.
Yeah.
So YouTube's fun.
Yep.
So you're remodeling your new house. What is your favorite project so far in the house, and which one are you putting off till last?
The office has definitely been the main focus, because that's where I spend all my time. So I wanted to like where I was most of the time. So that's my favorite. I still need to make cabinet doors for in here. I never show the built-ins that I'm sitting at because I did the built-ins, I did the countertops, no doors on them yet. I have been delaying that so unnecessarily, but I need to get back into my old habit of just doing something. And if you fail, just try again. I know that I'm avoiding it because I want it to be perfect on the first try. And that's a little bit silly after all these years, but I'm hoping to finish this office, finish by Mother's Day so that I can at least say I did it in a year. And it got new flooring, built this wall because it's so hard to point on camera.
It's rough.
It was like my garage entrance is back in this hallway, and they didn't have a wall here. It was just a huge room that wasn't closed off. So I loved finding these French doors, and this has been fun. I'm I really, really, really want to do our kitchen, but it's major. It's major.
Yeah, that's a.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are any sponsors out there want to give me all new appliances and a lot of other things,
Come install it.
yeah, I'm avoiding that one, but that one needs it.
It's a lot of cabinet work.
Yeah.
You got a partner that kind of
Who
knows
does
how
cabinets.
to do that too, huh?
Yeah.
Who? My dad? Definitely not Nick.
Got him.
We have built things before, but oh no, not my kitchen.
My kitchen.
I've seen you guys work.
You're breaking his heart.
I'm
Look
telling
at that sad face.
He would wring my neck if we had to work on building my kitchen. He would wring my neck. The Maker Collab would end after that kitchen remodeled.
COLLAB.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'd be good.
Well, you brought up your CNC. Tell me the differences between your CNC and your laser and the challenges that you had with that.
Oh boy. I mean, it's such a different machine.
Mhm.
And I'll always be a laser person at heart, just because that's where I started and that's what I know in and out in terms of my machine. Like, that's my jam. Onefinity, I don't use as often as I would like to. I'd like to just do more projects and do videos about them on YouTube. Still, I want to work with Vectric more on that, and I had started that last year. But too many things got piled on. I don't know. The CNC has
A scary router on it.
it's like, I mean, I've done when I tested a 3D file for Two Moose Design, and it was like a spoon file, a 3D carve. That was just buying a file, it already had the tool pathing set up, and I got a spoon. So
Right.
that was just insane. Like, that really got me excited for the CNC. I did the flip, it lined up, it was really cool. And the CNC is just a great complementary tool to the laser. I only have a 50-watt laser, and so I can cut through like 3/8 inch solid woods,
Right.
like hardwood, but it's not like these 100-watt. It's not as powerful. It is fast. It's got good speed, but I don't know if that even answered your question, or at this point, you have rambled on. And now, having listened to you, we are all dumber, or whatever.
I was trying to get how you got your name.
I like the Onefinity, but yeah, the bits add up, and
Which
I don't
one do
know,
you have?
I still have a lot to learn. I have the Journeyman,
Okay.
not the Elite or anything, just the Pro. But yeah, I really have my eyes on that Airweights thing. That looks pretty sweet.
Those do look sweet. Yeah.
I'd love to
Those
get
look
one
awesome.
of those. Do a video. I don't know. I really do want to start batching out more products. I'm really trying to get Oak Hill back where it was. It's a really confusing thing to be 5 years into your business and feel like you're in a valley. And to be honest, that's kind of where I feel like I'm at right now. We moved. Moving is a really big, not upset, but like, it's just a big change. And we moved 360 miles from home. So we don't have people that know who I am or what I can do, who are just reaching out all the time and referring me. Word of mouth is huge.
Yeah.
Social media, I feel like I could rant for another hour about that, and I won't. But I'm just trying to get Oak Hill back where I'd like it to be. And
So you feel like you're starting over again.
a little bit.
Yeah.
and it's hard. But I just joined the Chamber of Commerce. I'm really hoping that opens some doors to meeting some other small businesses out in the community and and so that's why I was saying earlier, I kind of have to force myself back into that stage of discomfort. Like I've gotten comfortable. I've gotten kind of like, here's what I expect to get, and here's what I have gotten. But now I have to kind of start back with advertising again, and that might mean changing the business model a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at our local Chamber of Commerce the other day. So
Yeah.
I think it could be a good
Yeah.
route.
They do a lot. There's a ton of meetings. So I think those types of things, just like the Maker COLLAB University, joining your Chamber of Commerce, life is what you make it, right? So you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. You have to show up, you have to give and be generous, and hopefully it'll come back to you in dividends and you'll learn something from it.
Yeah.
We call it karma checkbook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a bad thing to think of it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you make a lot of different kinds of awesome pieces, but do you have a favorite item to make?
Right now, I just make Nick mad regularly. I don't make.
That's something right there.
That's good. That's good.
I like it.
That's good.
Enough.
Good answer.
The favorite, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like the creative aspect of things, but I also love finding a way to batch out a process and crank out a ton of things. So a couple orders recently have been like journals that I just engraved on the laser, and they're quick. You can butt them all up and I can do 8 at a time, and it's just easy to crank them out. So that's kind of an easy win for the project.
Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
Nick would like to know if he's been the butt of every joke tonight. Only the majority, not all of them.
Tried.
Mm.
Not all of them, but not all of them.
God, he's full of himself.
It's not all about you, Nick.
Yeah. And me.
Settle down out there.
I'll give you an easy question to end on. If you had a chance to meet anybody living or dead, who would it be?
Shoot, easy question. I gotta go Jesus.
Eventually.
We didn't want you to be dead in this scenario.
I want to meet Jesus, and I want to go to
Yeah.
That's it.
There you
That's
go.
all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. All right. Christy, thank you for being on here tonight. It was a pleasure. If you got anything coming up, here's your time. Just put it out there. You want to let our fans or anybody out there listening know what you got coming up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a soccer weekend. My daughter's game is coming up. So you're going to get that.
Send me tickets.
Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my focus right now is still growing the Maker COLLAB University. And I think people, as soon as they jump in, they realize what they've been missing. So we just hope that you take a chance on joining. It's $15. It's as cheap as it's ever going to be, because whether Nick has something to say about it or not, I'm raising the prices before next school year. So we're going to find a way to grandfather people in. So if you want to get in at $15 a month, you should get in now and use your 50% off code CMP50 to enjoy. That's what I hope people show up for, because it's really people are like, you're gatekeeping your chart. I'm like, I'm not gatekeeping.
No.
We're running a business, and we're showing up for people is what we're doing, because we're not the type of company that's just plug and play. We support people privately, one-on-one, a lot behind the scenes, and no one gets to see that. No one gets to see like the relationships that are formed or the companies that we connect people with, but it's happening. And it's just because if you take 1 second to invest in yourself, we're gonna help you out. So that's that.
Good deal.
There you
Cool.
go.
Good deal.
Jenny.
Well, hello. Thank you again, Christy. It was fun. Thank you, Nick and Landon, for also providing humor in the chat. Coming up, I have an event tomorrow night and getting ready for that, hoping it does not get rained out. And I'll spend the weekend doing Patreon and YouTube with these guys.
There you
Saturday
go.
morning cartoons.
Matthew.
Still going with organization in the shop. Got everything done, ready to get the new Onefinity CNC foreman in. It'll be the Elite Series, so I got the table that I'm designing, finishing up that design now. Get it built, and then I got 3 cabinets to take down and organize, and I'm done. That'll be done, and I'll start doing stuff. So that's it.
Awesome.
Jamie Page.
I've been hosting for the past couple of days, so they've been out in my workshop using my stuff, and while I've been teaching them to turn. So now they're going home in the morning, which means I'll get my workshop back. So it means I can start doing videos again. And then we've got cartoons on Saturday.
There we go. Cartoons on Saturday. A lot like Christy. Thank you for coming on the show, Christy. A lot like her, I was kind of in a lull too, so I decided to just do something for myself. So we made a giant dragon egg last week, and I'll show it Saturday. And it's got my batteries recharged. So I understand what you're talking about, Christy.
I am kind of relaxing, working on a partnership with the laser company. So trying to get back in the saddle. That'll be my next YouTube video coming out. So after this big build I went through, just kind of taking it easy, getting back into doing the other stuff, the fun stuff, I guess you could say. Anyhow, thank you again, Christy, for being on here. Next week, we have Tim Cunningham. Urban Forge is going to be on the show. Remember, please, folks, go give us a review on iTunes, and I want 10 stars.
10.
I will not accept anything else other than that. Anyhow, remember patreon.com/Creative Makers Podcast. And I think that's going to do it, right? Thanks, everybody, for showing up. And it was a pleasure. Christy, again, thank you.
Yes.
And we will see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.